Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Alternative Chef on YouTube. Tonight I am making a cold European style pasta salad. It's one of my favorite things to make and it is incredibly easy. It's also very healthy and it's very fun to make. It's very versatile. You can change it and add different things and take things out each time you make it. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The main ingredients is our pasta. You can use any kind of macaroni style pasta that you want. Tonight I'm using a whole wheat spiral pasta. It's a little bit healthier than the regular semolina pasta. It's got about 5 grams of fiber and about 8 grams of protein per serving, so it's a little bit healthier. I'm going to go ahead and dump this right in here. Follow the instructions, folks. You want to make sure that your pasta is very al dente. You want to make sure that it's firm because we're actually going to be marinating this pasta salad in the refrigerator for about 24 hours before we even serve it. So you want to make sure that you make sure the pasta is firm. This calls for about 9 to 11 minutes cooking time. I'm actually only going to cook this for about 8 minutes. Okay, and then I'm going to strain it and we're going to be adding our ingredients. Okay. While this pasta is boiling here, I'm going to go over the ingredients that we're going to be adding into it. I have everything set up here. The first thing is our cheese. We're going to be using 2 different types of cheese. I have Swiss cheese and I've got some mild cheddar cheese. I'm going to cube this up and it's going to equal about 1 cup of each type of cheese. And I'm going to be doing that for part 2, and then also we're going to be adding some olives. I have a jar of olives here. These are Spanish olives. I'm going to drain all of the juice out of this. The next thing I have is some marinated mushrooms. I'm also going to be pretty much taking all of this juice out of here. I'll leave a little bit of the marinade. These are just regular marinated mushrooms, a full jar of it. I'm going to be adding these in here as well. I've also got some marinated artichoke hearts. This is going to be the main source of marinade. I'm going to pour this entire jar right into the pasta after it cooks and I strain it, and this is going to be delicious to add to it. That sort of a pre-made marinade. I'm also going to be adding some red wine vinegar as well to help with the marinade. Okay. Next thing, I have some Kalamata olives. These are black olives that have been marinating in extra virgin olive oil. I'm also going to be straining all of the olive oil out of this. I don't want the black olive flavor in the pasta. I just want the black olive. So I'm going to be straining all that olive oil out of there. The next thing I do is our fresh vegetables. I have 1 whole red bell pepper that I'm going to be chopping up. I don't have time to do all that on the camera because of some of the time constraints we have on YouTube, so I'll be doing that here and then I'll be coming back to show you. I'm going to add it all into the pasta. I'll show you how I do that. So we're going to chop this up into fairly decent sized chunks. The next thing is 1 whole crown of garlic. Okay, I'm going to be chopping this up and pretty much as small as I can get the garlic. Chop that right up there and that's going to go in there also. The next thing is a small red onion. Red onions are pretty strong, folks. A lot of you probably already know that, so I've got a small one I'm using. I'm going to chop this whole thing up and dump it right in there. So this is going to give it a good kick. The next thing I've got is fennel. This has become one of my favorite vegetables in the past couple years. I'm going to cut off the fronds. I'm going to quarter it and then core it. I'm going to try to show you as much of that as I can on the camera, but this is my favorite vegetable in the past couple of years, fennel. And so I'm going to put that in there. Also, I've got some fresh cracked black pepper. I'm going to put that in there. And I'm also going to be adding some Italian herbs. This is just a regular herb blend that I got at the grocery store. Very easy, very simple. So I'm going to be adding the herbs on there. I'm also going to be adding some extra virgin olive oil back into the pasta once I get it strained. Okay, so that is our basic ingredients that we're going to be adding in here today. So I'm cooking this. I've been timing this. I've been eyeing the clock. I've got about 4 more minutes. I'm only cooking this for about 8 minutes. Again, I want to make sure that it's very firm. Just keep stirring that up. Again, the cooking time on the bag calls for 9 to 11 minutes. I'm only cooking this for exactly 8 minutes, and then I'm going to get it right into some cold water so it doesn't continue to cook. Again, it's going to be marinating in the refrigerator. The pasta is going to continue to soak up a lot of the juices in there, so we want to make sure that it's very firm, okay? Stir that up like that. You can add salt to your water if you want to, but it's not necessary. There's plenty of salt in the marinades that we're going to be using, okay? So again, folks, thank you once again for watching. When I come back, I'm going to be adding all of my ingredients. I'll show you what I've done to the vegetables and the cheese, and I'm going to be dumping it right back into the same pot that I'm using. It's a very easy dish to make. You can use it as a side dish, you can use it as a main dish, you can add things, take things out, depending on what you're in the mood for at the time you're cooking it. So it's very easy, and once again, folks, thank you. I will be right back. When I will be adding all of my ingredients after I cut it up, and it is that simple. Thank you very much. Okay, welcome back, folks, to part 2 of the Alternative Chef's cold European-style pasta salad. Okay, I've got everything all cut up here. I've got my red bell pepper. I've got about a cup of each Swiss and mild cheddar cheese. I've also cut up 1 small red onion. This was a tearjerker. That's why I use a small onion. It really, it's pretty strong, the red onion. I also have 1 full crown of garlic that I had cut up. And everything is right here on my cutting board here, and let's go ahead and put the pasta back into the pot, alright? Okay, so I have 1 bag of pasta that I have had, it's well drained. I'm going to put that right back into the pot here, just like that. So that's cold, and make sure that you try to strain it or drain it as much as you can. You want to try to get all the water out off the pasta because we're going to be adding a lot of other liquid ingredients. Okay. So let's go ahead and start adding our main ingredients here. The only thing I did not prepare yet is the fennel because I want to show you how to do that. It's a little bit trickier to cut the fennel up. So let's go ahead and add everything back into the pot, and then I'll show you how I do the fennel, okay? So again, we've got a cup of Swiss cheese. I'm actually just going to take this right like that, and I'm going to put all this right into the pot. So I've got a red bell pepper going in there. I've got a cup of cut up cube Swiss cheese and mild cheddar cheese, and I've got 1 whole crown of garlic going in there, and I've got my whole red onion. That's what's really going to give it the kick. So I put all that right in there like that. Let's get it all in. Alright. The next thing we're going to do is add our marinated mushrooms. Again, I drained out most of the marinade out of this. Was a little bit at the bottom, but most of it I did drain out. I'm going to dump that right on top like that. The next thing I'm going to do is my artichokes. Again, I'm using this entire jar of, the entire jar of the artichokes is going right in to the pasta. You want all that marinade to go into the pot there, okay? You got that going. The next thing is the olives. Again, I've drained all of the juice out of the olives, and I'm pouring that whole thing right into the pot. Love green olives, but I don't like all the juice that comes with it. I just like the olives themselves. Again, the black Kalamata olives, I've strained all of the olive oil out of that also. I just have the olives, and I'm going to pour that right on top, just like that. Alright. Next, I'm going to be adding, let's go ahead and add the olive oil. It's about a third of a cup of olive oil is what we want for this. Maybe about a half a cup will actually work, but just kind of eyeball it there. You want the pasta to get well coated with the olive oil because you're going to be adding those herbs, and the olive oil is going to help kind of get the herbs to stick to the pasta and to some of the other stuff in here. The next thing I'm going to do is add my red wine vinegar. I have Regina red wine vinegar, or here's some Eden Select. Just any kind of regular red wine vinegar will work. We're going to do about 2 tablespoons of that right in there like that. A little more. Okay. And we're going to be adding some cracked black pepper, fresh black pepper right on top of that. Be kind of generous with the pepper, it gives it a little kick. And if you don't want to use as much, don't, but I like to use a lot of it. Get a nice good hit on there, okay? And the next thing we're going to use is our Italian seasoning. Just use any kind of grocery store brand Italian seasoning. It works just fine. And be kind of liberal with this. Put it right on the top there like that. And again, just kind of eyeball it. If you want to add a little more or add a little less, it's totally up to you. It depends on your taste buds, right? Okay, so I pretty much got everything in there. The next thing I'm going to do is cut up the fennel bulb. Again, it's a little trickier to do fennel because it's got a hard core inside of it. So we have to quarter it and then get that hard core out of it. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, here's my fennel bulb. Again, folks, you want to cut the fronds right off the top. And just toss that. Actually, okay, got a clean knife there. Okay, so I've got my fennel bulb cut. You want to cut the bottom of the fennel off, maybe about a quarter of an inch off, right off the bottom of the fennel. Alright, so I've done that. And then what you want to do is cut it into 4 pieces. Alright, so we got that. Okay, so I've got the fennel cut into 4 pieces, and we want to get rid of that hard center part. So just cut the center right out of there. Just cut the hard part out of there. It's pretty easy to see what part you don't want in there. Okay, so I've got the 4, the hard core I've cut out of there. That's it. Alright? And then we're going to just take the rest of the fennel and just kind of cut it up into pieces. Then I'm going to toss it into the food processor to chop this up into smaller pieces. Again, folks, this is a very versatile dish. If you don't like fennel, don't add it. Alright? I happen to love fennel. I love that black licorice taste. And so I'm going to toss this right into the food processor. I'm going to chop this all up here. It's going to be delicious. Alright, make sure you get it all in there. Okay, and then we're going to just chop this up, just kind of... Okay, so I have one full large fennel bulb, and I'm going to I've chopped it up in the food processor, so I'm going to add the whole thing right onto the top there like that. Alright. Okay, now we are ready to mix this all up in the pot, so let's do that. Okay, so just go ahead and start to toss this together. You want to get all the ingredients to come together. You want to make sure that everything gets well coated in those Italian herbs. And just start kind of mixing it up. And the great thing about this recipe is that you only have one pot. So it's very clean. It's an easy recipe to make. So again, we're just going to kind of toss that around here. And the next thing we're going to do after that is we're going to put it in the refrigerator. And this is going to marinate for about 24 hours. And everything, including the pasta and everything we've added, is going to kind of soak up that marinade, and it's going to be delicious. One more little secret here, folks. If you want to add some meat to this, you can. When you serve this, you can add some cold cooked shrimp to this. If you like anchovies like I do, I love anchovies, you can put some anchovies in there. You can even get really kind of exotic and add some octopus to that. Some cold pickled octopus goes great with this, if you like that sort of thing. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil to this. It's a little bit dry, so probably just a nice little hit of olive oil right on top. And then we're going to continue to just sort of stir this. Every time you think about it, folks, go into the refrigerator and just sort of toss this around a little bit. Every couple of hours is great, but whenever you think about it, it's fine. But before you serve it, always make sure that you toss this around to get all that olive oil that's going to kind of drain to the bottom, and the marinade as well. When it drains to the bottom, you want to kind of mix it up and get it all coated on all the pasta and all the added ingredients. Okay, folks, we are just about ready to toss this in the refrigerator and let it chill. The one secret about this, folks, it's great. The longer it sits in the refrigerator, the better it tastes because it soaks up that marinade. It's a great recipe to make in bulk. I got a busy schedule for the next couple days, so this is going to come in handy. I'm just going to put some in some Tupperware, bring it to work. Very easy, very delicious. Okay, let's get my lid here. Okay, we are ready to go. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and in 24 hours, I'm going to have the most delicious treat that you can imagine. That is as easy as it gets, folks. And thank you once again for watching. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And on the next Alternative Chef, I will be in Hawaii doing some coconut shrimp, so join me for that episode. And thank you once again for watching, folks. I will see you next time.